Hello everybody, Huge Dev here, and this video is going to be a little bit different than the ones I usually make. It's going to be a little more like one of the videos you'd find on my brother's channel rather than on a gaming channel, but I digress. Let's just get into it. So, let's talk Bandai. So Bandai's done something semi-recently, at least, with one of their games called Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So, they were unhappy with people hacking into the game and unfairly increasing their rank and making them the highest on the leaderboard. So, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has this feature in it where basically if you do the most side quests or something, then you get to be the person on the little hollow statue in the middle of Kanton City. It's a nice little, hey, look at me, I'm better than all of you kind of thing. A little achievement thing. So, what people were starting to do is they were starting to hack into the game and make it so that they were practically immortal and had just all of the damage given to them. And then they would go into PvP matches and fight unfairly and just win every time because they couldn't lose. Or they would go into their Xenoverse's version of side quests, which are known as parallel quests, and they would just demolish them because they did practically unlimited amounts of damage. And this was getting a bit to the point where it was just unfair. And so what Bandai did was they created an update, created an algorithm that they placed into the contents of the game so that if it located any form of alteration to the coding, it would shut down that person's game and prevent them from playing, which was a pretty good idea, a pretty good way of getting hackers to stop playing. But it did have an issue. See, after that update came out, I tried to play the game, and to my confusion, it wouldn't connect to the server. I have never touched the game. I haven't even modded anything into it, so I couldn't understand what was going on. I thought maybe my local files were a bit, faulty, so I went and tried to adjust my local files, see if I could find anything wrong with them. Nothing. So I went into the forum for the update so that people could comment telling them of any issues with it, and I found that not just me, but every other person that had received this update was unable to play their games. Somehow it glitched up and caused the update to just not allow anybody to play Xenoverse 2, which was clearly upsetting for the community. So I figured, okay, they'll probably fix it later on and we'll eventually be able to play again. And I was right, they did. But something they could have done in the meantime is take it down, fix the bug, and then put it back up. But of course they didn't do that. Instead, they simply left it up, preventing anyone from playing the game, and then fixed it in their way. So it took them a solid maybe 3 weeks from my time that I noticed that the issue continued on for, that I just couldn't play the game, and that upset me because I paid good money for this. I paid like $15 for this game and now I can't play it? That's not okay. That's not right. But that's not the biggest problem that they made. See, after fixing the update, I was super thrilled. I was incredibly happy that I was now able to play the game, and I figured, okay, well, let's check the forum again and see what everybody's, saying about it, saying about this update. So I take a look at it, and I was surprised with what I saw. What I saw was people were still unhappy because what the update did was it not only took away people's ability to hack the game, it also took away people's ability to mod the game. And if any of you know, and as any of you know who play on PC, That's something that is unacceptable to a PC gamer. So, a better way they could have gone about this is simply take a look at Dark Souls, what it did. See, when Dark Souls was having an issue with hackers as well, they didn't change the coding to make it disallow people from playing the game if they had altered their codes. No, because that wasn't their style. Dark Souls doesn't care if you alter it. It'll punish you for any decision you make in the game, and so that's exactly what it did. See, what Dark Souls did was it took its world, its server, duplicated it, and added a constraint to that new server that basically stated if anybody's coding was altered, then they were set into this new server, this Dark Souls purgatory, compared to the original one, which is practically a paradise. See, what this Dark Souls purgatory is anybody who has altered their coding is sent here. Anybody who's hacked their game is placed in this purgatory, in this nightmare, which Dark Souls already is difficult, but this place, this new Dark Souls, made it so much more difficult, because you're able to be invaded by another hacker, which, yes, you are a hacker and you've most likely altered your weapon in some way to, I don't know, give it every enchantment or make it do massive amounts of damage. But I actually witnessed a person who had hacked his game and was sent to this version of Dark Souls, this new world order, if you would. And he was killed 5 times by the same guy before he could get to the next bonfire. Because what this person had done with his weapon was he had caused it to be able to, when he swung, not only did it do instant kill levels of damage to anyone, but it forced the closest player to him to be dragged through walls, through the floor, through ceilings, through enemies, through traps, through whatever was in his way, practically teleported right in front of his already swinging sword, without any possibility of dodging it. It was an unbelievable thing that he had created, that he'd conjured up. It was incredible. I was so surprised that somebody had actually modded their weapon to do this, and it looked like they had done it solely for the purpose of punishing these people who had hacked their game. And now, let me think. Who was the people that was responsible for Dark Souls' version of this purgatory? Oh, right. It was Bandai. So why didn't you go and do that with Xenoverse? It would have been a much simpler idea. All you had to do was duplicate your server and add that constraint. Then hackers can play with hackers, modders can play with modders, and people who just want to play the game can just play with the game. And besides, it's not like the mods were doing any harm to the game. At the #1 mod that I saw downloaded at the time where it was acceptable to do so was the Metal Cooler form for the Frieza race. Because let's be honest, compared to the Golden race, the Metal form is much cooler, no pun intended. I don't really understand why Bandai chose to, instead of altering it to allow people to play in their own way, they chose to force people to play it in the vanilla version, the way they designed it to, when they had previously allowed mods to be added to the game. It doesn't make sense to me. So that's all I have for this episode. I don't really know of any other issues that this game does have. If it does have any other issues you want me to talk about, then please leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely check it out, and I'll take a look at it and probably make a video in the future. In any case, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys!